When we started Nuru 5 years ago, a lot of people asked why. Why start another nonprofit? Why fight extreme poverty? Why try to do what no one else has been able to do? But to understand why, you need to know who. Many of you know the story of my time in Iraq as a platoon commander in Operation Iraqi Freedom, and the poor farmer I encountered on the road to Baghdad, whose family was murdered by Saddam's Fedayeen right before my eyes. He was the who that led me to leave the Marines and go to the Stanford Graduate School of Business to build an organization to end extreme poverty. But there is another who that was instrumental to the founding of Nuru. Her name was Josephine. I met her some years later when I was interning with a nonprofit in rural Kenya. She had 5 children. 3 were sick with malaria. Her youngest had died the year before as she walked 10 kilometers to the nearest clinic and arrived too late. She spent hours each day collecting water that made her and her children sick. She didn't have access to good seed and fertilizer, so she couldn't grow enough crops to feed her family. There was no school for her children to attend, and even if there were, she wouldn't be able to afford the small fees for books and uniforms. Josephine was trapped in the cycle of extreme poverty. She had no choices, and it wasn't her fault. Neither she nor her children had done anything to deserve this. Yet 1 in 6 people in our world today are like Josephine, living without hope that their situation can change. I saw in her eyes the same look that I saw in the eyes of that Iraqi farmer, and I knew that there was no turning back. I didn't care how hard it would be or how long it would take. I was committed to winning the fight against extreme poverty for Josephine's sake and for the millions like her without choices. 1 year later, a small team and I returned to Kenya to launch Nuru International. We visited farmers in their fields, collected data, met with village leaders, and after months of hard work, we held our first group formation meeting. We had no idea if anyone would even show up, but 450 farmers walked for miles around to join Nuru. That first harvest, many farmers increased their yields 4, 5, even 6 times what they'd seen before. And the number of Nuru farmers grew every season. We launched more poverty-fighting programs and tried a lot of different prototypes. Some worked and frankly, some didn't. But this iteration led us to develop a new approach that we believe will be a game changer in the fight against extreme poverty. Nuru equips local leaders to design solutions to the 4 main needs in their communities. These leaders build solutions with us, grow them on their own, and together, we start a for-profit enterprise to fund the work as it spreads. Once leaders are equipped with the skills to manage and grow the solutions and the capital to sustain them, we exit as they continue to innovate and scale the impact better than we ever could to eventually end extreme poverty in their nation. Over the years, more amazing people joined Nuru, both in Kenya and in the US. Journalists started to write about our story. Thousands joined us on Facebook and Twitter, and some of the top philanthropic foundations in the world bet that we were onto something. And somewhere along the way, you got involved. You're a family member or a friend who believed in us from the very beginning. You were a classmate or served alongside of me in Iraq. You attended a fundraiser or a home gathering to learn more about Nuru. You learned about us at a conference or on a tour or walked with a bucket on your head for Be Hope to Her. You have no idea how much your support means to us because we are in a fight. And in any fight, you get knocked down from time to time. We've experienced theft, threats against our safety, disease, and drought. We've even survived black widow spiders, earthquakes, and lightning strikes. Even this 5-year anniversary brings mixed emotions because 5 years was our initial goal to exit in Kenya. But we're not ready to leave just yet. And it would be worse to leave too early and risk losing all the progress we've made. We have seen tremendous impact. Thousands of lives have been changed. Dozens of leaders have been developed. And we're making progress against our exit criteria. Our for-profit enterprise is becoming more profitable. Local leaders are managing more of the operations, and the finish line is in sight. You see, each time we got knocked down, something comes along to lift our spirits. And very often, that was you. An email you sent, a contribution you made, your sharing of our stories and videos with your social networks. Now 5 years in, our vision is clearer, our resolve stronger, and the finish line is closer than ever before. And when I think of who it is we're fighting for, I not only see that farmer in Iraq and Josephine, but the faces of over 30,000 men, women, and children who are doing it, who are ending it, who are lifting themselves out of extreme poverty forever with Nuru. It's time to finish what we started. We're building a model to end extreme poverty anywhere in our world, and then we're going to give it away to other NGOs, governments, and communities so that together we can see an end to extreme poverty in our lifetime. For those of you who already give generously, we're almost there, and we need you now more than ever before. And if you haven't joined us yet, there's no better time to get in the fight. Let's do this.